Telford Wrekin Council recognise that child sexual exploitation is a vile and heinous crime that is committed against members of our own community, and we are determined that we will be united in the way that we deal with this going forward. Since getting involved in this, I've grown to know a lot of the victims and survivors and their families. I, on a daily basis, begin to understand the pain that they've been through, and that's thrown up a range of emotions. From a personal point of view, there's the sorrow. I'm sorry that for the pain that these people have been through, that the families, the victims, the survivors, that pain, that horror. But at the same time, I get a huge amount of inspiration, as I'm sure other people do, how they've taken that experience, that pain, that horror, that darkness, but turned it into something really positive.
There was a lot of research and the need from talking to survivors, and it was led by survivors to get the Holly Project launched. There is passion, commitment to make people's lives turn that corner and make a brighter future for people. And I'm fortunate to have people working for me that can prove that.
I think it's so valuable to have somebody who can empathise and truly understand how you're feeling. The main aim is just to make survivors stronger, be able to move on with their life in a shorter period of time than some of the people that we've been supporting have been waiting 40 years for help. Obviously, we also want to do a bit of prevention, so we do awareness sessions and things like that as well.
As Commissioner, my role in the horrific crime that is child sexual exploitation in Telford has been about ensuring that the police have the right resources to tackle the issue, that they are giving it the appropriate attention, but also that we are working effectively with our partners to ensure that we're working together to tackle this issue, because ultimately it is only together that we are going to be able to keep those vulnerable safe and ensure those that perpetrate this awful crime are brought to justice.
Child sexual exploitation is taking place nationally. As a police service, we're really aware of that. We're aware it's taking place locally, and it's absolutely a priority of the police in Telford and Wrekin, but also the local authority and other partners.
So we have our own dedicated CSE team that is based here at Mallinsgate. That's overseen by a detective inspector, has a detective sergeant, 6 detective constables and our own analyst, as well as a support coordinator. And that team's job is solely to investigate allegations of child sexual exploitation. But one of the key parts of that team is also that they work really closely with the local authorities Kate team. So not only are they investigating offences, they're also supporting the victims and witnesses through that process.
We work with young people who have been identified as either being exploited or at risk of being exploited. I think we've seen an increase in reporting in Telford, and that's for a number of reasons. We've worked very hard to raise awareness of what sexual exploitation is, what the risk factors are for people to look out for. So we feel that yes, we've had an increase, and yes, we've responded to that increase in terms of putting additional CAPE practitioners in place. But we see that as a positive move, in that we are working with and identifying young people who may be at risk or who are being exploited, and we're able to provide the service that they need.
We want the public to be confident in coming forward to the police. However, we accept that not everyone feels like that. So being able to work closely with community groups and other local partners is vital in enabling us to have that flow of information about offending, but also to ensure that there's a wide network of support for victims across Telford.
I think the only way that Telford can move forward with CSE in the community is if all the partners work together. And I'm really proud to say that the Holly Project's working with the council, and working with the police, and working with the health service. And I think if those partnerships weren't there, the project wouldn't work, and there'd be no change at all.
We've always placed the protection and safeguarding of children in our community as the highest priority. We've always made as much funding as we can available for that priority. And what we have to do in terms of this issue is make sure that we continue to listen to those who've been through the experience, the painful experience of child sexual exploitation, to make sure that our services, the services that we're responsible for, the services that ultimately protect the most vulnerable and help people recover if they are a victim of this terrible crime, we've got to offer a range of those services and make sure they're the best that they can be.